From debts to dreams, Tom's journey. Tom grew up in a cramped two-room apartment on the city's outskirts, where every corner told the story of his family's struggles. As a boy, he shared the small bedroom with his younger sister, while his parents slept in the living room or a pull-out couch. The walls were plastered not with posters or photographs, but with reminders of overdue bills, colored slips from electric, gas, and water companies, each demanding payment that never quite came. When Tom graduated college, his parents, his father a warehouse loader, his mother a schoolteacher, could no longer support him. He packed his meager belongings into a battered backpack and claimed his sister's old bedroom, determined to lift his family out of debt on his own. Early attempts and false starts. Tom's first plan was simple: find freelance work on the internet. Every evening, after his shift at a local convenience store, he fired up his aging laptop and scoured job boards. He tried copywriting for online magazines, believing his neatly written essays would sell. One week he earned $20 for an article about fitness. The next week, nothing. He then experimented with dropshipping imported phone cases and affiliate marketing for health supplements. He set up dozens of tiny websites, each promising a commission that never materialized. Some orders trickled in, only to be eaten by transaction fees most never arrived. Each time he posted a success story to a forum, the echoes of silence on the other end reminded him that the internet didn't reward effort equally. The midnight grind for 3 years. Tom's nights blurred into one relentless cycle. 11 p.m. Return home after stacking shelves at the grocery store, head cloudy with exhaustion. Midnight. Open a fresh spreadsheet labeled Plan A, listing potential projects in pastel rows. 1 a.m. Code a rudimentary landing page for a personal budgeting template using free HTML templates. 2 a.m. Send cold emails to 10 local businesses offering website updates for $30 each. 3 a.m. Countless cups of instant coffee, bitter and cold by the time his eyes began to blur. 4 a.m. Stare at a blank inbox and wonder if it was all a mistake. 5 a.m. Collapse into bed for a 2-hour nap before his morning shift. He learned to survive on 4 hours of sleep, dental deliveries of caffeine, and the stubborn belief that this one project would change everything. Friends drifted away. Family dinners became video calls he sometimes missed. Every rejection email felt personal, every failure a confirmation that the universe was testing his limits. The spark of an idea. One rainy Tuesday, Tom helped his neighbor, Mrs. Alvarez, with her phone. She lamented she had to juggle multiple Excel sheets to track groceries, rent, and school tuition. They compared notes. Her husband ran an auto repair shop and relied on sticky notes. Tom's mother kept handwritten ledgers in a battered notebook. That night, Tom scribbled the words home budgeter atop a blank notebook page, underlining them twice. He didn't know how he'd build it yet, but he sensed this was different from everything else he'd tried. It was a tool he and everyone he knew would actually use. Building the first prototype fueled by a mix of excitement and desperation, Tom dove into code. He taught himself a lightweight JavaScript framework and tied it to a simple back-end database. In a week he had a minimal viable product. Users could create a free account, input expenses, categorize them, and view a pie chart breakdown. His laptop fan whirred incessantly as he pored over tutorials. At 2 a.m. he tested the sign-up flow on his own phone and asked Mrs. Alvarez to give it a try. She signed up, added a week's worth of receipts, and sent back a screenshot with her jaw practically on the floor. It works, Tom. This is magic. But prototypes have rough edges. During that first weekend, the server crashed from unexpected traffic. Data entries vanished, and user frustration mounted. Tom fretted over every bug report. At 3 a.m., he questioned whether he'd just invented another half-baked side hustle. Yet every message of encouragement, however, small, pulled him back to the keyboard. He fixed each issue, one by one, often patching code by the dim glow of an old desk lamp. The first real users in early autumn, Tom posted Home Budgeter in a regional Facebook group for young professionals. By Monday morning, 200 people had signed up. He watched the sign-up counter tick upward during his lunch break at work. Over the next 48 hours, a flurry of feedback poured in: feature requests, bug alerts, heartfelt thanks. One user wrote, "I paid my rent on time for the first time." Another said, "My credit score is actually improving." For the first time in years, Tom worked nights because he wanted to, not because he had to. He revamped the interface with user-suggested color codes, added auto-import for CSV bank statements, and configured weekly email reminders. When he woke the next morning, he realized he hadn't checked his shift schedule at the convenience store in days. Scaling up and paying off debts by winter, Tom upgraded to a paid cloud server. He introduced a premium plan at $4.99 per month, unlocking features like multi-account linking and custom budget categories. He recruited his sister to handle support emails. She reveled in making people happy, and his mother to draft tutorial blog posts in polished, empathetic prose. His father, once a man with calloused hands, learned basic database queries to generate financial reports for premium subscribers. Revenues trickled, then flowed. Within 6 months, Home Budgeter covered the family's rent, utilities, and even the car payment. Tom paid off every outstanding bill his parents had suffered under. The apartment, once a gallery of red ink notices, now bore framed family photos and a handwritten paid in full notice from the mortgage company. His success tasted sweeter than any instant coffee he'd gulped at 3 a.m. A new chapter 18 months after that Facebook post, Tom moved into his own studio loft downtown. He traded the bagged salads he once bought on credit for fresh groceries and occasional splurges. Home Budgeter served thousands of active users each week. Its mobile app sat proudly among top-rated personal finance tools. Tom hired a small team of developers, designers, and customer support specialists, many of them friends who believed in his vision from the start. He still worked late nights, but now those nights were filled with brainstorming new features, mentoring junior coders, and planning community workshops on financial literacy. When he looked at the ceiling of his new studio, he no longer saw cobwebs of debt, but a space brimming with possibility. What Tom learned over the years. Tom distilled his journey into a few essential truths. Persistence beats talent. Talent can start you off, but only relentless perseverance carries you through the dark nights when success seems impossible. Solve real problems. Fleeting money-making schemes fade. Solving a genuine pain point creates sustainable value. Leverage your network. Family and friends aren't just emotional support, they can become collaborators, testers, and your first evangelists. Patience is an asset. The most valuable opportunities often require time to mature. Hold your promising ideas long enough to let them grow. Turn regret into action. Every early misstep taught Tom what not to rush past. Regret, properly harnessed, fuels wiser decisions. Moral great successes are seldom sudden. They are the sum of small daily victories and lessons learned in sleepless hours. It's not enough to spot an opportunity, you must commit to refining it, enlisting allies, and weathering the storms of doubt. If you find yourself trapped by debt, overwhelm, or endless side projects, remember Tom's journey. Focus on a problem you care about, build patiently, and invest in the people who believe in you. With discipline and vision, even a dirt cheap idea can transform into a lifeline that lifts not just you, but everyone who depends on you.